Khabib Nurmagomedov absolutely humiliated drug addict, alcoholic, sexual predator Conor McGregor after Conor McGregor accused him of scamming his fans by selling an NFT that a lot of people bought based on exactly what it was advertised as.
Mexico didn't help you as far as I can see. Khabib Nurmagomedov just delivered the most savage clapback in MMA history. He didn't challenge Conor McGregor in the octagon, but invited his bitter rival to a Dagestan rehabilitation center. This bombshell came in response to McGregor's furious accusations of scamming fans with NFTs. McGregor, fresh from claiming a psychedelic rebirth and meeting Jesus, found himself targeted by the Eagle with a chillingly direct message about his true struggles. The combat world erupted, sensing a surgical strike at McGregor's vulnerabilities. What dark truth lay beneath his transformation?
There is no way good guy Khabib used his late father's name as well as Dagestani culture to scam his fans and fire sell a bunch of digital NFTs online and then delete all of the content after they were sold, leaving his fans robbed of their money. There is no way a good guy do this.
This explosive exchange ignited after Conor McGregor, once MMA's king, vanished from X in early October 2025. He'd hyped a UFC return, but his departure was unannounced, without his usual flair. He simply disappeared. Speculation ran wild, legal troubles catching up, or deeper physical and psychological health concerns from years of combat. The MMA community held its breath, wondering what silenced the verbose Irish phenomenon. The silence, however, was about to be broken in an unexpected way, fueling a long dormant rivalry.
Let's be honest, the main reason there are so many anti-Muslim MMA fans is because Khabib brutalized McGregor back in 2018. The casual incels were devastated watching McGregor have his soul taken that night and simply never recovered.
The truth, stranger than fiction, emerged November 23, 2025. McGregor dramatically resurfaced, proclaiming a psychedelic rebirth after a 36-hour hallucinogenic therapy session in Mexico. He claimed to have seen visions of his own death, met Jesus, and achieved salvation, all to heal an undefined trauma. Observers listed candidates, mounting legal woes, career-stalling injuries, a devastating 1-3 record, and a lost civil assault appeal in July 20. This spiritual journey was meant to be his clean break, but some rivalries simply refused to die.
Absolute liar. You will always try to darken my name after you got destroyed that night, but you will never achieve that. Yes, good guys don't do that. This is 100% fact.
Now McGregor, jacked and proclaiming transformation, teased a glorious UFC return in late 2025. Training videos flooded social media, showcasing an intensely rebuilt physique. He even announced a new interview series with ex-Navy SEAL Rob O'Neill at McGregor's Black Forge Inn pub. Simultaneously, he sued Sky News for defamation over unflattering comments. He was actively rewriting his narrative, pursuing new ventures, and seeking vindication. Yet, as he tried to turn a new leaf, an old adversary was about to re-emerge, casting a long, familiar shadow.
My count is 56 former drug addicts at my rehabilitation center in Dagestan that I treated. Come to Dagestan, act Notorious MMA. They'll take care of you here. Mexico didn't help you as far as I can see.
The catalyst for this renewed conflict appeared November 25, 2025, when Khabib Nurmagomedov, the undefeated Eagle from Dagestan, launched his Papaka NFTs on Telegram. These digital collectibles, modeled after the traditional Dagestani hat, were explicitly linked to his late father, Abdulmanap, who tragically passed in July 2020. This profound loss led to Khabib's stunning retirement, rooted in deep family commitment. The Papaka is more than just a hat. It's a powerful symbol of honor, tradition, and masculine pride, now digitized for global reach.
Conor he's kind of an embarrassment to his family. And I do believe Conor has a disease, but I do also believe that Conor is a complete piece of shit. And Khabib should say this. And Khabib did open some drug rehabilitation centers in Dagestan.
Khabib's NFT venture aimed to share his cultural heritage with fans worldwide, building a business to support philanthropic initiatives. The Papaka NFTs sold out within hours, reportedly generating $4.4 million. By any reasonable standard, it was a resounding success, marrying cultural heritage with cutting-edge blockchain technology. Purchasers received precisely what was advertised: unique digital collectibles tied to one of UFC's most iconic fighters. No deception, no hidden clauses, but McGregor, ever the provocateur, saw something entirely different, an opportunity to unleash a calculated, venomous attack.
If you want to go back to some of the crypto incidents that Khabib was related in, I guess you should talk about what Conor did. Because if we're conflating the two things, selling an NFT exactly as advertised, and we're conflating that with a crypto scam, let's not forget. Okay? Because Conor, and we're not going to go through all this, Conor hyped up a crypto coin, and then he rug pulled that crypto coin.
On November 26, 2025, McGregor launched his assault with reckless aggression. His initial post, later deleted, contained outrageous accusations. He claimed Khabib had scammed fans by using his late father's name and Dagestani culture to fire-sell NFTs, then deleting promotional content to hide the deception, leaving fans robbed. The claim was as inflammatory as it was baseless. What McGregor called deleting evidence was standard post-sale procedure. The promotional link was removed after sellout, replaced with a thank you. Telegram CEO Pavel Durov's partner later publicly confirmed this.
Khabib took Conor's soul years ago, and the fans have never recovered, and they hate Muslim fighters because of it. And I will continue to call it out. I don't care.
However, the damage, if McGregor's intent was indeed to sow discord, had already begun. Anti-Muslim elements within the MMA fan base, a contingent tragically surging after Khabib's dominant victory at UFC 289, eagerly seized upon the accusations. Many casual fans, devastated by McGregor having his soul taken that night in 2018, never truly recovered. This toxic undercurrent amplified McGregor's baseless claims, transforming a successful cultural business venture into a perceived scandal, fueling an already volatile rivalry that transcended sport and dipped into deeply personal territory.
And luckily, Khabib called it out, he acknowledged it, and he embarrassed Conor McGregor for being the low-life piece of that he is. But it's just sad to me, a lot of fans co-sign this. It's sad to me that you got content creators saying, oh, it's definitely a scam.
Khabib Nurmagomedov is not a man to suffer insults in silence, especially when his family legacy is attacked. At 36, with a perfect 29-0 record, he was not about to start. His response was swift and precise. "You absolute liar, you will always try to darken my name after you get destroyed that night, but you will never achieve that." That night needed no further explanation. Every combat sports person knew exactly what Khabib meant. October 6, 2018, UFC 229, the highest grossing pay-per-view, ending with McGregor tapping frantically to a neck crank. Khabib didn't just defend himself, he subtly mocked McGregor's accusations, redefining good guy actions. "Good guys don't do that," he wrote. "They don't create exclusive digital gifts with real-time value that you can share with your friends and family. Gifts in the shape of papaka hats that symbolize tradition and culture of Dagestan people." This direct refutation exposed McGregor's attempt to twist a genuine cultural offering into a fraudulent scheme. Yet McGregor, unyielding and desperate, doubled down, escalating personal barbs and revealing a deep, unhealed bitterness. McGregor intensified his assault, calling Khabib a low-IQ troglodyte and demanding an apology for robbing fans. He continued his repugnant pattern of invoking Khabib's deceased father, Abdulmanap, a tactic famously deployed pre-UFC 2. The irony was palpable. McGregor had previously made crude jokes about Khabib's family and mocked everything sacred, only to be systematically dismantled over 4 rounds and forced to tap. 7 years later, McGregor was still reaching for the same psychological weapons that failed him spectacularly, hinting at an unshakable trauma. Khabib's next move proved his psychological superiority. Instead of continuing petty NFT accusations, he surgically pivoted to McGregor's core struggles. "My count is 56 former drug addicts at my rehabilitation center in Dagestani that I treated." Khabib wrote, "Come to Dagestani, all the notorious MMA, they'll take care of you here. Mexico didn't help you as far as I can see." This direct jab at McGregor's psychedelic rebirth was unmistakable, suggesting his spiritual healing was an illusion, and true help lay in addressing deeper, unacknowledged problems. This post accumulated over 11 million views, becoming one of the most engaged pieces of content in their long-running feud. Fans reacted with awe at Khabib's composure and dark amusement at his surgical precision. The genius of Khabib's response lay in its subtext. While McGregor attacked his father's legacy, Khabib quietly highlighted what he actually built post-fighting: rehabilitation centers, a coaching empire with Eagles MMA, even preparing to corner Islam Makhachev at UFC 30. His life moved forward productively. McGregor, by contrast, remained trapped in battles from McGregor's counter-response revealed the extent of Khabib's psychological hit. "Who will I be meeting there? Because it won't be you," he retorted. "You can't scam me with your lies, you tax-dodging scammer on the run. Your poor family. I pray for your constant lies. I pray while you lie. You should just be honest because Allah knows all." The invocation of Allah, a familiar tactic, underscored McGregor's continued attempts to weaponize Khabib's Muslim faith against him, even in a dispute about digital hats, a sign of his desperation for leverage. The staggering hypocrisy of McGregor's scamming accusations became glaringly obvious. In 2024, McGregor himself launched a meme coin called Real, which raised $92,000 before collapsing, leaving holders with worthless tokens. Crypto investigator Zach XBT highlighted this irony, noting McGregor had deleted posts related to his failed cryptocurrency venture after its implosion. This was precisely the rug pull scamming McGregor was accusing Khabib of, yet his own documented history revealed far more egregious behavior than selling advertised digital collectibles. The mirror reflected a different truth. The fundamental distinction between Khabib's NFT project and McGregor's crypto venture was stark. Khabib advertised a specific digital collectible, a traditional Dagestani hat, and delivered exactly that. Purchasers knew what they were buying. A rug pull, by contrast, involves inflating a worthless asset through celebrity endorsement, then selling off holdings, leaving retail investors with catastrophic losses. McGregor had executed a rug pull with Real. Khabib, conversely, created something with genuine cultural value, a digital representation of a cherished symbol sold to willing buyers. Yet McGregor positioned himself as the defender of scammed fans. Islam Makhachev, Khabib's protege and current UFC lightweight champion, offered perhaps the most succinct analysis. Khabib broke his mind. He's not going to fight anymore. The contrast in their trajectories since 2018 couldn't be starker. Khabib defended his title twice, retired undefeated, fulfilling a sacred promise to his mother after his father's death, and built a post-fighting empire. McGregor, however, lost 3 of his last 4 fights, suffered a grotesque leg break, accumulated legal troubles, and his acting career yielded mixed reviews. The shadow of UFC 209 loomed large, a wound that refused to heal. The question perpetually hanging over this digital firestorm, much like every exchange since October 6, 2018, was, will Khabib Nurmagomedov ever fight Conor McGregor again? The answer unequivocally remains no. Khabib has repeatedly stated the grueling preparation for a comeback is unlikely. His commitment to his mother, a promise made in her moment of greatest loss, is sacred and inviolable. His current work as a coach and businessman fulfills him in ways competition never could, building lasting institutions. He has nothing left to prove to a man he already comprehensively defeated. Yet, the discourse persists because the deep-seated hatred persists. A venomous cycle neither man seems capable of breaking. The psychological wounds inflicted pre- and post-UFC 2029 proved impossible to heal. Recall the April 2018 bus ambush at UFC 2023 Media Day, where McGregor's crew smashed windows. His promotional campaign attacked everything Khabib held dear. His religion, family, even his wife. Khabib's chilling response, "I'll kill you," wasn't hyperbole. It was genuine hostility from a man pushed beyond his considerable limits. The fight itself, UFC 29, provided Khabib everything he wanted. Round by round, he systematically dismantled McGregor's mystique with relentless takedowns and ground and pound. McGregor had fleeting moments, but Khabib's wrestling superiority, conditioning, and indomitable will were simply too much. What truly shattered McGregor wasn't just physical domination, but the complete failure of his psychological warfare tactics. Jose Aldo and Eddie Alvarez had been rattled, but Khabib absorbed every insult with stoic calm, then methodically destroyed McGregor inside the cage, later calling it "my vacation." The post-fight years painted a stark contrast. Khabib went on to defeat Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje dominantly, retiring 29-0, a promise kept to his grieving mother. He built Eagles MMA into a powerhouse, with Islam Makhachev now holding his former lightweight title. McGregor, however, spiraled into controversy and decline, losing 3 of his last 4 fights, suffering a gruesome leg break, and accumulating legal woes. The suggestion that UFC 229 inflicted permanent psychological damage on McGregor, though long whispered, was bluntly articulated by Makhachev. Khabib broke his mind. As November 2025 ended, the scorecard for this latest round of the McGregor-Khabib conflict seemed clear. Khabib emerged with his reputation enhanced, composure solidified, and philanthropic work highlighted. McGregor once again revealed himself as a man consumed by bitterness, unable to accept or transcend a past defeat. He attacked a grieving son over his father's legacy, made baseless accusations, and resorted to religious provocation when all other ammunition ran out. Dana White and the UFC remained curiously silent, perhaps recognizing this fire needed no additional fuel, knowing a rematch was insurmountable. The rematch will never happen. Khabib's mother's wishes are paramount, his legacy perfect, yet the war of words, this endless cycle of accusation and response, deletion and resurrection, of wounds picked open and salt rubbed in, will persist as long as both men draw breath and have social media access. It is, in its own way, the only rematch either will ever get, an eternal verbal sparring match. Neither can truly win because the decisive result was already rendered 7 years ago inside the T-Mobile Arena. Khabib Nurmagomedov defeated Conor McGregor completely, and nothing on social media will ever change that fundamental reality.